Welcome to the Bentonville Film Festival.
Thank you very much.
I heard you screened yesterday.
Yes.
And your star did some singing, too.
Yes, she did a pretty great 4-song set after we screened the film, and then we were able to do a Q&A after that, and it was a good night.
For those of us that weren't in the audience, can you give us a quick overview of what your short is about?
Sure. It is a song. It is about the documentary is about a song called Quiet that Connie Kim, also known as MILCK, wrote and performed at the Women's March in 2017, which was the Trump inauguration march. And from there, it went viral across the world. And so it's sort of the story of the song becoming viral, and then what happened with her career and her relationships with her songwriters, and just kind of her internal journey as she had to face fame, like a newfound kind of fame.
Why did you want to do this kind of a short? I mean, it's almost a documentary is what I would call it, almost.
It is. It's a documentary. It's just 30 minutes as opposed to like a full hour or something like that. But, well, initially, when I was approached to do the project by Grace Lee, who's an executive producer on the film, and the impetus for it was really, it's the 5th year anniversary of the march. Let's put something together that kind of gives the backstory of this song, which comes from Connie's own personal experiences as a sexual abuse survivor, and that the song itself was sort of a reclaiming of her voice, and being able to share that story, but kind of a little bit of an abstract way, right? Like, there's something in her trying to come out. Once we started in the process, it just really evolved. Like 2021 in the fall is kind of when they approached us, and we were like, oh yeah, we can do a short, 8 to 10 minute piece that, shows that. The other thing that we had been talking about from the beginning was her re-recording the song. She went through a period of her career where the song became very popular, and then she got signed to Atlantic Records, which was a major label, huge deal. And then afterwards, she really wrestled with that and chose to become an independent artist again. And so a lot of the internal struggle she went through to leave the label was sort of all tied up with the Black Lives Matter movement, the Stop AAP I Hate movement, and all of these things that caused a lot of self-reflection for her. And we realized it's not just about the song becoming super famous and global and viral. It's really about a person's internal journey and what it means to reclaim your voice, what it means to own your creativity. And so it evolved into a much longer piece. And I think what it was is like there was a lot of nuance to the story, and in order to do justice to her vulnerability and her just being really open about her own flaws, and she had to reconcile with some people in her life, and it just felt like we had to make it longer so that you really understood and kind of felt what she was going through to make those decisions and like come out on the other side.
Were you given the leeway to be that honest about her mistakes?
I mean, that was part of the long evolution of the film, right? She's a musical artist who's used to bearing her soul through her art, but I think the reality of seeing herself, as a main character for 30 minutes was a little bit daunting, and I don't blame her for that. So I think part of developing the film into what it is now was also like the journey of us trusting each other. We just had to get to know each other more. Like, she had to trust that what impacted Connie the most was the idea that this film could be of service to particularly like a young Asian American girl who would be able to see themselves or herself in the story, because that's something that she didn't have when she was that age, kind of going through these struggles. So once I think that became like a guiding star, like the idea that it wouldn't just be about her, and she didn't have to feel like it was a vanity project or something like that. That is kind of what clicked for her and allowed her to be like, okay, let's do this, like full-throated, open chest, open your chest and like really put it out there.
And you did a great job, especially the fact that the song came from a dream. Was that your decision to animate it? Because that was brilliant. I was like, ooh.
It actually wasn't my idea. It came from, the film took a long time to make, over a year for a short, which is, not unusual, but longer than we expected. So our original editor, Aldo, is a really talented editor, but he was like, yeah, like, we got to do something for this dream section. What are you thinking? It's like, we went back and forth. He's like, I think we could do something really cool with the animation. And then I had worked with the animator Emma Berliner before. And I think she just did a great job because we didn't know what it would look like, even when we decided like animation was the way to go. We were like, abstract, just give the idea of this struggle, and then the way she did the three figures coming together and putting eyes in the corner watching, I was like, oh, this really kind of nails it. And I think that the sound design also on it was really like, once it all came together, I was like, oh, this is a very impactful moment in the film that kind of matches the intensity of kind of what she went experienced just having the dream. So I think it actually was worked out very well.
It was a great way to show and not tell the pain that it came from.
Yeah. That was like the mantra for the whole thing, right? Like, it's her internal processes. It's these dreams. It's these conversations that she's having with herself and asking herself really, deep questions. And it's like, it could be very didactic and boring, just listening to someone explaining her therapy sessions. It's like it could just be it. We didn't want it to be wall-to-wall talking. So then, I think, in the process of making it, what really unlocked it was those acoustic versions of some of her songs that felt intimate and personal, and also could like shape the tone and the emotion of these stages of her process. So that, I think, was really crucial to being like, oh, okay, like, we can make this film and we can address all these deep questions, but we don't have to be like a stern taskmaster about how you should think or how you should feel or what you should do with your own life. It was so personal that like we could carry on the emotional journey with her.
I like the use also, because I wasn't aware of how all these people from all over the world did her song when it became viral. I loved the way you pieced that together and was showing, what was it, Iceland, all over the place.
Ghana,
I was like,
Iceland, Australia, all over the world. Yeah.
I mean, it became an anthem, because I remember the song when it came out. Who doesn't know the song? Everybody knew the song, but I didn't know it had gone everywhere.
Yeah. And I think that was also a piece of Connie recognizing, like, oh, this song is not about me. It lives in this, like our executive producer Miley often says, it's like, it's a divine moment. It's like, she's like, somehow it came through Connie, and Connie acknowledges it herself. Like, it almost just like needed to be birthed into the world, and she's like, it just chose me, to go out into the world. And so that it was really important, I think, not just to be like, oh, look at how famous Connie got, but look at how impacted women all over the world were by that song. So, yeah, thank you.
Now, where are you trying to be seen besides film festivals? Because not everybody's going to be at Bentonville. Right, how can they see this wonderful thing?
I mean, we are still looking for distribution. Shorts are difficult. I mean, as docs,
but it's a short.
Docs are difficult, but short docs are actually even more difficult to get placed or purchased. So we are trying to start to have, we've been doing festivals, I think, for the last couple months. So we're starting to...
You're still in the thick of it.
A little bit. But we're hoping to start some more of these conversations. Hopefully it can slot in on a streamer nicely, but we are also just practically considering, other streaming options that are more independent that we can... Because like the song, we want as many people as possible to kind of be able to experience.
Absolutely. Not everybody's going to fit in the theater here in Bentonville.
Sadly, no. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.